Tell them all the stink and dirty, stink and dirty.
Oh my god.
Yes, sir. It is time. We are back for episode 2 of the WereWolf Hour. It has been quite a busy week for me, and as I would say, an average week for West Indies. But no matter, we're used to it. Let's just take our time and go over what we have for this week. I'll just wait a little bit to see if anyone wants to jump in. I have the link in. I'm finally figuring out how to use StreamYard. Thought they were to get like a proper intro, put it up. So if anyone in Discord wants to come up and jump in and talk or anything, feel free to. I'll just give it a 2 minutes and we'll just see how it goes. Let us see. I have a few things planned. I'm not sure what to go with first. Let's put up the banner. There we go. Big up everybody. It's definitely going to be interesting here. Let's see. What do I want to talk about first? Yeah, actually. Oh, Alyssa, hello. I hope you're good. I know you're probably busy with schoolwork, and this is a break in quotation marks, but hope everything's good. Yeah, I wanted to go a little bit earlier today, but I ended up going out. I was to go out and come back early, but we ended up leaving late and then reaching back later, and I was getting stuck with some other stuff. But that's perfectly fine. Multitasking as usual. Nice. Okay. Let me see. Okay. I had a few things planned. I was hoping this one could be like maybe a little shorter, but we could always just speed through stuff and see. Especially because if we want to discuss 4-day championship, 2 of the matches were a draw because of rain. So I feel like we don't really have to go through as much, but there's still a few things to talk about. So let's actually take a look. Let's actually start with that. Where legends are made? Question mark. Okay. So in terms of 4-day championship, it's round 3. It's still not looking too good. I mean, everyone's still getting spun down, but we're just still seeing all the same people just making runs or getting wickets. Actually, no. Instead of making runs, we're getting some different suspects. And while that's a good thing that we're seeing different people making runs, the people it is may or may not end up actually making it a good thing. That will be somewhat of an issue. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Oh, sorry, folks. I should be sharing this. Okay. So let's just take a look at what we have here. After round 3, Ghana's in first, Red 4 second. All of these are expected. The only sad thing about the expected results is that West Indies Academy and CC are at their bottom. It is quite unfortunate. No wins, 1 draw, a loss, and they're just struggling. Winwood still disappoints me to some extent, but that's just Winwood. I am happy to see Jamaica coming up. Same with Leeward doing pretty good, even though has Greaves joined? I actually don't think he has. I'll check that back and see. But yeah. Let me yeah. In terms of runs, Jason Muhammad is just he just owning the season. Even though he's 58, it would be again, it just goes back to, do you validate the results of the tournament by picking Jason Mohammed to play against Australia and asking him to come out of retirement for this, or do you just acknowledge that the tournament, the quality of the tournament is just so bad that no one here you say is even good enough to get picked? So yeah, we're just still in that sad situation. I think it's just something we have to deal with. It's a lot of issue. Oh, another reason I wasn't sharing the entire time. I apologize. I am very, very sorry. Yeah, we're showing up on Streamlabs, but not Streamlabs. StreamYard, but I just checked that I wasn't showing. Sorry for that. But yeah, it's still the same old. Yeah, back to Jason Mohammed. If they want him to be in the squad, that's perfectly fine. They could at least ask him to. If you feel like he doesn't want to play or he wants to stay retired, then so be it. But that still just raises the point of letting a 78-year-old man just dominate the domestic scene. Jonathan Drakes is doing well. Campbell, I feel like Campbell is probably one of the more important ones, because if Campbell he might not come as, actually no, I don't want to say this. If he makes as much as Jason Mohammed has currently, I do think he walks straight back into the team. But Brathwaite is captain, so he's just there. I don't mind that he's fourth. He's doing his thing. He's one of the people who will have to stay. Cephas Cooper. I remember Mash talking about this, and even though he is quite a youth man, it's still just the first good season. So I think I'm just going back to trying to avoid another Louis situation where no matter how good someone could look technically, even though Louis still does have deficiencies, I'm not ignoring that. But just to say that despite having one good season, even on debut, the overall quality just wasn't good enough. So we'll have to live with that. Carrie Pierre, just that top three is just very, very sad. Just all spinners. Actually, no. The other stat I had pulled up and it made me even more sick. I don't know if I still have it pulled up here. Do I? Actually, might. Yeah. So, Carrie Pierre has bowled 115 overs, 26 wickets, and he has bowled 31 maidens. Horrendous. Average of 8, economy of 1.9. I mean, it's pitiful. It's shameful. No disrespect to him, but I mean, if you're allowing someone to go like 5 whole innings conceding at least one runner over, then there's problems. I mean, out of 5 innings, he has 3 fifers and 1 4-for. I mean, all this is just making me sick. I can't look at this. I mean, Jimbo, big up Sean, 17. Yeah, but the funny thing is, it's literally just Carrie Pierre with the really incredible stats, and then everybody else is still spinners, but the stats are nowhere near as good. Except for Purmo, he has even more maidens, but Cornwall's going at 3 and over, Purmo's going at 2, everyone else is going at like 3, 3.5. Yeah, it's literally just Carrie Pierre, and yeah, I mean, just big up to the Frenchman. The power of slow left arm orthodox is just it's too much for everyone else to handle. But the sad thing is, we have Moti, we have Warrican. No one else could really make a claim for the position. I mean, let me see, where's Mr. Warrican? Actually, no, everyone is slow left arm orthodox. I have to give it a Sean. The other person who could probably make it up might be good Jimbo, right arm off breaks. Yeah, so it's very possible he might. Yeah, but still, yeah. I do think at some point he will have to get a call up. I mean, regardless of fitness, if the situation demands it. Actually, no, I can't fully say that because we saw it with the T20s where we have just the power of Moti, Akil, and Chase being able to just spin down men. So, I feel like in tests, just because you're not limited to overs, and you can just like knock down men with just like a good long spell, Cornwall probably will have a chance. Yeah, in terms of the individual matches, let me see what Barbados did. Barbados and Jamaica, I think bits and pieces of this it wasn't too good, but big up to Odin, big up to the one Odin fan, I guess. Yeah, we're still seeing so much people just coming in. I did look at some of the numbers, and I really think it is that spinners are getting their first wicket after at least 2 or 3 overs. It's just yeah. Some of the stuff I'm saying is making me sick, but I guess we just have to live with that. Yeah, Jonathan Drakes is already doing pretty well. It does seem interesting that we have so much people doing well, but the problem is a lot of the places that they're playing at are usually taken up by established people in the team. But with Kati in and out and Django just given the spot, I feel like I'll have to give him the run at least. Um, poor dads, poor Kirk. I just more pain. Let me move on from that one. Let me try and find a more interesting game. Let me see. Let me see what Winwood was up to. Winwood, what do you have to say for yourself? This one was a draw. Were all of these draws? Am I mistaken? Oh yeah, it was three draws. Oh my goodness. Yep. Again. Yeah, actually, big up Josh. I didn't mention this. I mean, I've seen Panda talk about Vigash Mohan, and I don't know if all of it is good things, but I mean, it's also nice that seeing Django get that run at 3, which would help for the West Indies team, because it is quite odd that compared to us, I think there's not many teams I'm looking at it. From what I've seen in domestic, there's not that many teams who have people where they don't usually play domestic out of position. If anything, there's some places where some teams where you have people in domestic batting a little lower, but then they bat much higher in international. It's an interesting thing I've noticed with some of the leagues, like Sheffield Shield, I think one of the New Zealand stuff. But yeah, it's just some interesting stuff. But yeah, big up Josh. If he can continue this, and if he does bat at 5, or if he keeps it up batting at 5, I don't know if he immediately jumps back into the 11, but I figured it might be enough to say he can come back into the squad. Again, all this just relies on the Sami. Yeah, there's a little too many variables right now, but a lot to consider. I mean, Azari came back, he did all right. Well, kind of. I mean, okay. Look at this comparison. We've got Jimbo, and then we've got Hayden Walsh. Now, I'm not putting this as disrespect to Walsh. I do think he's all right. He was decent in some of the T20s a few years ago, but how can we say that if you're like player of the tournament for CPL in a certain year, and then you're not given much games in international? I mean, what's the point then? It's hard to say that this person didn't do well, so they're not in the squad. But then if you ask, how many games were they given, and they're like, just 2, but we're still enough. Like, can you really say that's enough? I mean, he also hasn't performed as well. But again, I think that just also comes down to just the kind of environment that we have where people can't really develop. Who was it that said this? I'll tie into that point I'll bring up later on, because I think it ties in better. Actually, no, I think it's better to bring it up now. I think it's Powell and Rutherford, yeah. They, in some of the interviews that I did when they were in IPL and ILT20, they spoke, in addition to speaking about wanting to play for West Indies and representing their country, they're probably one of the few people, or probably the only 2 who have mentioned that they've used the opportunity to really work on their game. Because Rutherford said that even though he didn't get to play, he spent a lot of time in the nets and worked on batting. He did some bowling, which I don't think will be major, but good for him. And if a Paul, he talked about, I think of the final where he made all the runs. He was saying that he's using the facilities a lot to really work on his game. But that just speaks so badly of us. I mean, if you have so much international players who are getting all these international deals for all these franchise leagues, it doesn't speak well that one of the big things about it is that they get the opportunity to train and really improve their game. So that's just some more issues. Yeah, the rest of these were draws. There's not really much else to say in terms of standouts. Winwards, yeah, not much again here. I'll big up Cyrus, I guess, but yeah, the tournament's kind of in a lull. Not just because some of these games were rained out, but there have been a few very disappointing things. Because I think we hit that point where we're getting a combination of the down bad teams playing against each other, and we're still getting the one-sided matches. But yeah, we just have to deal with West Indies cricket. TC will probably slap me up if I don't mention this, but big up to a Mr. Gudakesh Moti for coming through with a 50. Yeah. This top order was it was quite bad. I mean, Nandu, Imlak, whew. Yeah. Yeah, but big up to King Moti. And also big up to Ali Muhammad. I mean, I still don't know where this guy came from. And I think it's very funny that in one of, I don't know, was that a recent CCP video where he mentioned that he had gone to the matches and he saw someone again, but it was Ali Muhammad. And I just found that very funny. But I'm looking at his scores, and I'm not saying that he walked or anything, but I mean, most sixes, like I think 11 wickets or 10 wickets. Well, sixes doesn't really mean much, but it's a lot interesting box to tick. But he scores of 31, 35, or sorry, not 31, 35, 66, and next 70. It's all interesting. Nothing horrendous. I don't say. What is it? Yes, 35, 77, 66, one not out. And just because. But yeah, it's definitely something interesting to consider. Just because I am concerned about that Guyana setup where it seems like they can only handle one all round at a time. But I feel like that's just something we'll have to deal with. Okay, yeah, I feel like that's it for the championship. Yeah, there just hasn't been much else to discuss, especially with all the draws. There are a good few stand-up performances, but I feel like we'll have to maybe by next round things will get a little bit better. I'm actually curious, what is the next round? I'm hoping for at least. Let's actually see what's coming up. Okay, that's starting on the March 5th. Whew. Ways away. Barbados and CCC. That'll probably Barbados. Or if it's not an innings defeat, then I'll be disappointed. This one, this might be 2 innings defeated. Another innings defeat I see coming. This one will be interesting. Jamaica and Guyana. That one will probably be very interesting. I feel sorry for TC. Both her consciousness will probably be fighting up, juggling moral dilemmas for that one. But yeah, that'll probably be the most interesting one. Yeah, that one is exciting. But yeah, it's still just. Yeah, it's really not much to look forward to because at the end of the day, what can you say from this? What can you say you learned from this round? All you can end up saying is, "Oh, Jason Mohammed made some more runs. Carrie Pierre spin down some more men." Yeah, but times are tough, and we have to deal with that. Okay, this is the fun thing I wanted to do. Champions Trophy G League. If you get that reference, then big up to you. Am I even sharing the right window? Let me see. No, I'm actually not. Oh, I'm so sorry, folks. Where did it go? Did I even have this up? Let me see. I think I clicked off of it by accident. Oh no. Oh dear, oh dear. Wait, I think I got it. I'm back. I've saved it. All hope is not lost. Okay, here we go. Some of these tier lists are very hard to put together because some teams, or rather some nations, don't have a very clear picture available for their icon. At least that was a G League. I don't know how to properly explain it. It's a reference to NBA where I think the G League is the league they have with all the I don't know how to explain this best. I think it's just the league they have with all the rookie players in it, and then the people who haven't been picked. So kind of like a tier 2 equivalent, or maybe a tier 3. So right, that's the best way to put it. But the reason I titled it G League was because I wanted to compare the teams who are currently in the Champions Trophy and kind of guesstimate. Oh, right, thanks to the development program, yeah. I want to kind of like guess where we think West Indies might end up if they were actually in the Champions Trophy. Let me see. Yeah, it's still not showing the right window. Yeah, I'm not sure what's up here. Okay, I have two other tier lists. Okay, oh, I might have accidentally clicked off the wrong one. My goodness, a lot of things aren't going well today. Forgive me, people. Allow me. Okay. Let me see. Okay, I've got it. I've got it. Okay, I think we're good now. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. So I've got this tier list here, and it's all the best teams, all the best international teams, and I want to just go through it and kind of look at see where we think West Indies might end up if they'll or if they made it to the Champions Trophy. Some of these here I can remove, but we could just go through and see. Does anybody want to come and call? Maybe see if I could put back in the chat in the link and see. Can I not share this? Oh, it seems like I cannot. What is actually happening here? Okay, now it's telling me I can't share the stream link. Oh my goodness. Okay, I don't know what is happening here. Let me see. Nope. Okay, now tell me something went wrong. Let's see if I pin it. There we go. Lisa, you want to click on the link and see if you can come and call and we can probably discuss some of this? If you're up to it at least. Oh, Celine, big up to you. Okay. So if we made the Champions Trophy, I'll play like Puran coming in. Honestly, I feel like he might, especially because it's just that big of a tournament. I mean, it'll be the equivalent to the World Cup qualifiers to that extent. So it definitely would be interesting. I feel like he might have to because if he made it for the qualifiers and we ended up not making it, if we're Champion Trophy where we had made it, I feel like he definitely would. Okay. Actually, is this even the right listing? Actually, okay. Let me see if I can bring Alyssa on. I'm so sorry for this, folks. Something really strange here is going on with this. I actually don't know what is happening here. I'm trying to pull up the tier list, but when I click it, it's taking me to the one I have. Wait, here it is. International. Yeah, I think I might just have to do. Okay, let me see. Can I bring on up? Here we go. Hello.
Hi.
Hello. How are you?
Okay, how are you?
I'm fine, thanks. Okay. I don't know if oh,
It's
because
Harvey? Okay, sure.
wait, can I shift this layout now? Let me see. Okay. Okay. Let me start back sharing my screen then. Okay, and there we go. Okay. Yeah, I think it just messed up where it's taking me to a custom tier list I had. Or actually, I didn't even make this, but we can just work with this. So, okay, where do you think some of let's have what do you think of these teams? Which ones would you say would probably rank the highest for Champions Trophy?
I think New Zealand. New Zealand are looking so good in terms of like form. Like a well-rounded side.
Yeah. Yeah, my concern is I think Will Young had no. Did somebody get injured recently? No, I think it was Ben Sayers and someone came in, but I don't think it's a
Yeah.
major. Yeah.
Jacob Duffy came in. I
Okay.
don't know much about Duffy.
Yeah. I've heard a few of these names. I think it's just because New Zealand had so many. I think I won't say small series, but at a point in time they had so many series where they were bringing out a lot of bowlers that I've at least heard a few of these names. But I think most of them are alright. I definitely think. Actually, I think let me double check this if I'm right. I think New Zealand won the warm up match that they had this morning with Afghanistan.
Wait, there were warm-up matches?
Yeah, apparently I didn't know about it. I just saw on a cricket info that they have warm up matches, but it's only 3 teams. Oh, actually no, it's only three teams. There's Afghanistan, New Zealand, but it's Pakistan A, which I find very very strange.
Yeah, that's strange why they're bringing in Pakistan A.
Yeah, Pakistan
Curious
Shaheeds.
what their squad is.
Yeah, yeah, they matched up Afghanistan.
Okay.
They made 314. Afghanistan only made 170, and then New Zealand chased 380. Yeah, this is quite odd. It's only the 3 teams.
Yeah, that is. There
Yeah.
should be more. It's like the
Yeah.
Champions Trophy.
Yeah, but it's also spaced out really weird. Like they have games in Lahore, Karachi, and then Dubai for just one game.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So back to this. I do think New Zealand's up there. I do think some of these we could probably. I think Afghanistan might have a chance.
They do have a chance.
Despite how the warm-ups look, I think given how they've really risen as a side who bats first, that they actually might have a chance. I think most teams will be so used to chasing that they honestly could probably make. They did in the World Cup, they did in the ODI World Cup, but they were able to make 250, like 260, and be able to defend it easy.
Yeah. Like their bowling is arguably the strongest amongst all of them.
I mean, they were able to put up, I think it got the first match against England where they just had like I think 40 overs of spin, but it clearly worked.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Well, I feel like this one might also have to go next to New Zealand just because. Actually, no, there's no Bumrah. So would that come?
But there is Shami.
It was Shami. Shami might be hot and cold. That's still the thing. How much can they rely on Shami having not played since the last ODI World Cup? And he might have played, I think, 2 T20s.
I don't know about relying on Shami, but I do know that Shami is a different demon during ICC tournaments, and I would not rely.
Yeah, he also grew out his hair, and a lot of players who grew out their hair are doing really well. So I don't know if it's just a good luck thing. It'll be very funny. Oh, Panda's here. Hey, Wagwan, big up Panda. Yeah, that is Alisa on the call. Yes. Let me see. Can Panda jump into this? I don't. You might be able to have more people into this. Let me see. Let me see if I can reshare it. Yeah, truth. India's batting probably does look really good. The only concern, it is very funny to say that the two. Okay, Panda. I see how it is. You can just look up in the chat giving oil ups from a distance. I see how it is. But yeah, the batting is looking really good. But it is funny that the two biggest concerns, one of the big concerns, is probably Arshdeep and Kohli.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny to say that. It's also funny to say that they look like they're coming back in the form with a 50, but it's still not as good when two of the other scores I think were like 7 and another might have been just above 10. So we'll have to see.
I'm very doubtful of Kohli's form this World Cup.
Yeah. But it didn't even work out well for the 2020 World Cup, and then it all came together in the final. So you never know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see who. Okay. I feel like you're the only person who's qualified to speak on this. What say you? Too high? Too low?
I don't know. They're so unpredictable. Like, you could say anything for them. You could literally put them down. You could put them like right at the bottom and say, and literally just put them there, and then somehow they'll come to the top. Yeah, mild words.
I know what to do. I've got the perfect idea.
What is it?
There we go.
Yep, that works.
Yep.
That works.
Yeah. They could literally be down here, or they could be up here, depending on how the tournament goes.
They're definitely not up there yet. They need to do something.
Yeah. Poor Ayub. He sacrificed so much with that fielding.
That fielding. I mean, the 355 chase, like Pakistan have genuinely done like record chases. So I feel like if they bowl first, they are dead. But if they, if they bowl first, they'll be fine. They bat second.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Also, Panda says hi.
Yeah, but if they bowl first, they have a shot. They bat first, they're dead. They're dead.
Yeah. It is interesting. Looking at how some matches are the ban in Pakistan, I'm curious how. Do you know which stadiums they'll be in offhand?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see. It's Karachi, Dubai, Lahore, Rawalpindi. Yeah. India probably has. I think some of the easier games. But that's not about Bangladesh. So that's no disrespect, but that's probably an extra warm up. But then the big one, New Zealand, probably another interesting one.
Yeah, all for New Zealand.
Yeah, I mean, I might have to just because of everything that's going on with Bangladesh.
No, that makes sense. I would have done the same.
Yeah. Issues on the field, issues off the field. It's just there's too much going on for them.
They're the one team that guaranteed will not make it further.
Yeah.
Than,
I don't even know. It's so bad. I don't even know if Shakib is in the squad. I don't think he is.
He's not. I thought he was.
Okay. He is not.
He's not.
Yeah.
Oh my god! I was so sure he was in the squad.
Yeah. I think he's still going through some of those legal stuff. Yeah. Yeah. I saw somewhere that I think he might have actually played a game recently, but he's not allowed to bowl. So I think that probably influenced it as well. But yeah, they still got the goats in Mushfiqur, Mamadullah. So you never know. Yeah. They could probably pull in Afghanistan and be able to bat, make like maybe a decent score and still bowl people down. But we'll still have to see. Oh yeah, Bangladesh in the cellar. Shakib's still banned. Oh yeah. Oh, most unfortunate. I mean, Ireland, Scotland, no, West Indies. I'll say West Indies for last.
Okay, fair.
Yeah. Okay. Australia, given that essentially their main squad has been ruled out, I'm thinking meh.
Yeah, their bowling is concerning.
But the ones are relevant inside here. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I wouldn't put South Africa developing.
I just had them here so I could sort out which ones are not there.
Okay.
And then I'll just put us down here for now. Yeah. Yeah, Australia they're missing a lot of people. I mean, I feel like
Fair.
they might be in there.
Yeah,
The
but I
concerning
feel
one
like
is that. Oh, sorry, you go
sure.
ahead.
With Smith leading and Head still in the squad, I still feel like semifinals should be a given. Like they should manage.
Yeah, I'll admit then. My only concern is it's where that Stark was pulled out of for personal reasons, and then Stoinis just said he's retiring. So there's at least
Wait, was it right
something.
after?
Yeah, he just posted that he's retiring.
Oh,
So that's very funny. Wait, true, that's a good point. If West Indies made it, what group would they be in?
hmm.
Yeah. That's something I didn't even consider. What are the groups? Let me see if I can pull it up. I mean, there's still no guarantee that depending on the groups we would have a chance, but yeah. Actually, no. I guess depending on the groups, it might be a little bit easier, but you still never know when it comes to us. Where are these groups? I thought I had it somewhere saved here. Hmm. I'll probably find it later. I'll update it, but yeah. I think the easiest group for us would probably be Bangladesh, maybe Afghanistan, just if they were batting. Or if that a chaser, then maybe I really don't even know the groups offhand or how I could say that we do. Because I'm just tempted to say we will probably come last, given that in the ODI qualifiers, the teams who beat us came last and second to last. Okay, here I got it. Pakistan, Bangladesh, India, New Zealand, Australia, South Africa, Afghanistan, England. Okay, the other thing I consider is the rankings of the teams. I think whoever was 8 replaced us. Sorry,
It
looking
is
at
Bangladesh. I'm
yeah,
sure. I
okay.
think.
Yeah, there's Bangladesh. Yeah, so I think if we ended up qualifying, we might have replaced Bangladesh.
Fair.
Yeah, yeah. I think if that's the case, then actually no, that'll probably that'll make it worse for us because then our group would be India, Pakistan, New Zealand.
Oh yeah, that's a tough group. Pakistan will be unpredictable, but the other two, New Zealand, I mean, I have trauma because of them.
Yeah. You know, yeah. I thought it would be good, but it's not looking that good anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Then I feel like Australia is probably me. South Africa, I'm putting us solid. My concern is that they're still from the ODI World Cup. The big success was batting first,
Yeah.
and it's just so funny that they're perfectly capable of making close to 400 batting first, but when it came down to chasing some scores that were like 250 or 260, they struggled.
Yeah, chasing they can't do for the life of them. I don't know if it's like a confidence thing or
Yeah, it might be, but yeah, but it's so funny. It just doesn't make sense on a level when you look at it. Where if you're comfortable going at 8 and over, 9 and over, why is it becoming an issue when you have to go at 5 or 6 and over, knowing what you have to get?
yeah.
Yeah.
It was also in the semi-final against Australia. They were batting first. They were in their strong suit.
Yeah.
What happened to the batting? But then I guess Australian bowling being pretty strong, they struggled.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of the commentators said that coming down to the end, I think a few of the pitches were favoring chasing, but still, even though it was their strong suit, that also is a big criticism that Bavuma had was that there were a lot of situations where, even though batting first was their strength, the records show that whatever pitch this was or whatever ground this was, it didn't favor batting first, but still, yeah. Thank you, Mr. Raku. Young Badri podcast going places. Yes, and truth is very right. Class on an inshallah. Yeah, but Makram also needs some inshallah because he's been all over the place.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he even did all right in SA20, but still, I think the only reason he did good because I think I think he only had 4 ducks. I think he had 3 or 4 ducks, and still made 400 runs.
Wow.
Yeah, I think most of his scores. Yeah, baptism. Markram needs a lot. Yeah, like I said now, they're like 3 ducks, and then I think 3 scores were in the 80s and 60s, and then everything else was like 5, 6, 10. Yeah, I don't know what happened to him.
Yeah, Markram just needs to stop thinking and start playing because I don't know. He just seems like he thinks a lot.
Yeah. I think all of this could be linked to right after they won the SA20 because they won and then when it came to IPL, Cummings took over as
Oh,
captain, and then his form just dropped off right after that too. Because he's been down bad since I think beginning of 2024, or like maybe the end of 2023, right after the World Cup.
oh yeah, after the World Cup.
Yeah.
He got better in I think it was the second Sri Lankan test, and then he was quite all right against Pakistan.
Yeah. He's done even in tests. He's doing better. But just to say that in so much of these situations, he hasn't really done well. Like even in the World Cup, him and Reza Hendricks were doing so badly that they were essentially 1 down after 2 overs, and then probably 2 down after 3 overs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. I think all that's left is really England, and judging from the last ODI World Cup, I'm very tempted to say meh.
I still think May is polite.
No, South Africa might be the biggest fraud in international cricket. Raku, what are you saying? I don't know if fraud is the right word to use, but yeah, England is indeed in that bottom tier. Yeah, and I just put the
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, it's just I don't know who said it. I think I was watching Crick Buzz, and I think someone had mentioned that they found it really weird that they only seemed to go, I think, 1 or 2 spinners, and they weren't really playing to conditions. I think they just tried to go in with only pace, and it didn't work. So it seems like mindset wise, they're just stuck in golf.
Yep, they're in a different world mindset wise. They'll just go straight for the pace.
Yeah, and like I said there, knowing where we would have been in terms of the groups, Rocco was saying that it was based on the placings for the last World Cup. So I think if that's the case, it still might have been Bangladesh out. So you would have ended up in the group with Pakistan, India, and New Zealand. And even so, that probably could have been no wins, or at least 1.
Yeah. I'm still trying to wrap my head around how Bangladesh made it to the Champions Trophy. That's literally been a question that's been dangling my head for ages, last couple of days.
I don't know. I think the one thing that actually carried them was, I think, because they won against what was it? Oh, the win against Sri Lanka is very big for many reasons.
Yeah.
West Indies in exorcism. That might be a bit extreme, but maybe. Yeah. That Sri Lanka game was just something else. The fact that no one shook hands after the game and they just all went their separate ways spoke
That was
volumes.
insane.
That's crazy to see on TV. But yeah, I think it's because they won against. It might have been that one win against Afghanistan.
They beat Afghanistan?
Yeah, Afghanistan collapsed in the first game, and then
Oh my
they came together in the second match, and it was just really weird.
Yeah. That is very weird.
Yeah. I think that might have been the one win that might have helped push them over, because I don't even know who else they beat. They didn't beat Sri Lanka. They lost to Netherlands, which are probably the most surprising one. Yeah. Okay, so I think the moral of the story is, it might be a 0-3 Champions Trophy result for us.
Depends.
Yeah. Even so, I think for us to make it out of the group, it would have to be top 2, but then that would mean we would have to beat at least 2 of India, Pakistan, and New Zealand. And I don't like the sound of that.
This is why I worry for Pakistan. I don't know how we're beating New Zealand and India.
Yeah. It's definitely going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so I feel like that's the ranking is pretty much good here. There was one more that I wanted to do. Do I? Okay, let me see if I can pull it up. Sharing. Here we go. This one I feel like will be shorter because it is a lot more self-explanatory. But I feel like this one will be really fun.
Okay.
This one I had made. It's all the franchise leagues, and I was gonna rank
Oh.
them. I also have one made for West Indian players who deserve a test call up. But I think this one I could do on the next day because it is a lot of players to go through.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, these are mostly it includes people who are currently in the team, as well as some of the top run scorers and bowlers, as well as people who were dropped from the team and trying to make it back. So I feel like that's a discussion in itself.
Oh yeah, that would be really interesting to dedicate time to that.
Yeah.
It'd be fun to see where it goes.
Yeah. I think the fun thing would be splitting up the 2 big categories would be who stays in the team and who comes back into the team.
Yeah.
And probably who's beyond selection, because or rather I would say beyond. I wouldn't say beyond selection. I would just say not eligible because you include people who are retired, and then people who are probably like way too young because some people are like 17 and 18. You probably might not pick them against Australia.
Yeah, Australia would be a scary tour to bring like 17 and 18-year-olds to.
Yeah. Yep, you never know. Okay. So I have it pulled up here. Okay, so let's see. Okay. I think these are these in alphabetical order? It might be, or it might just be how I uploaded it. Okay. Well, I feel like this one just goes here.
Yeah, easily.
The easiest one goes first. Because I mean, yeah, I honestly think BPL might not survive until next year. I think this might be the last season of it, given all
What
that.
makes you say that? Like why?
Okay. Well, first of all, the money issues where if you're coming to the end of the league and when players are supposed to have been paid 75% of their fees and some people have only gotten 10%, that's probably an issue. I mean, did you hear about the controversy where everyone was stuck in the hotel? Yeah. I mean, imagine not being paid to the point where you're stuck in a hotel, you aren't able to get the flight back home, and the bus drivers locked all their equipment inside the bus because they weren't getting paid either.
Oh God. Damn.
It was bad, and that's why I
Yeah,
get
that's
this
not
one
good.
here. Yeah, so this could stay here, and then I think this comes right down. CPL might just come right above it, and I'd have to. There's no bias here. It might just have to go in down bad.
Not fair.
Yeah, in terms of just the quality of the cricket, as well as all the dramas it's had recently, it might have to. Did I mention this I think I mentioned this in the Discord where I was on a flight to Guyana for the CPL final, and it was awful seeing in the in-flight magazine that the only article they have about CPL is a picture of Andre Fletcher getting run out.
Oh God.
All the things, that's the advertising picture you have.
Damn.
It was also an older article too because it still had Talawas in it, and I had one. I think when Paul was in Talawas and some old uniforms. So it might be like from maybe 2020, 2021. So yeah, some of the things might need some updating.
It's okay. We've displayed a T20 World Cup poster on the billboards instead of the Champions Trophy billboard, and it literally says, "Come to the champion, get tickets for the Champions Trophy."
Yeah, I saw that too. I mean, it is literally like that because I think it was also Powell when he was in Jimmy. Yeah, just jokes. Yeah. Okay. I'm not sure where to put 100. I just threw it in here because it's technically T20 is just 5 balls and over. But
I
given what,
mean, there's T10 in it as well,
yeah,
so
yeah, it might also go down bad. I think Raku's going to put CPL in May. It's tempting. I just think given everything that's happened, they might both be in down bad. Yeah, 100. I don't even know how to put it because I think it's also not attracting many players.
mhm.
I think it's also older. I think the only West Indians there are Narayan, Russell, and Pollard. All the retired people except for Russell, and I think both Hetman and Purana. But the other concern is okay. You're the best person to ask this. Because so many of the IPL teams bought out 100 teams, there's the concern of Pakistan players not being allowed to play for those teams.
Yeah.
Do you think that will happen?
Nah, politics ain't gonna let it happen. Politics is so rigid.
Yeah.
Um, look, if Indian players, for example, no, no, it wouldn't work because as far as the politics is concerned and as far as how messy it's concerned, it is like imagine like the Indian government isn't letting the Indian cricket team come and play in Pakistan. We can still send our team to play in India, but that's only because like Pakistan, India makes so much money. Of course, they'll have
Yeah.
to come, and I'm sure that's like the only reason. Um, but no, like they'll. I don't want to get too much into politics, like on a YouTube channel. Sorry, but like I don't think we have a
Yeah.
shot at getting
Yeah.
sending players there.
The other concern was people were thinking that if if the IPL teams probably own most of these teams, they might reach a point where they think it's okay to have Indian players play in only those leagues, but you never know.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I would also rely on some of these teams having the same players because in some instances you might have people who already play for for one team who would then have relations at separate IPL teams. They can't really play for that. It's similar to
Yeah.
what happened with Trent Bolt for SA20 and ILT20, where he wasn't retained, but because he came straight to the South Africa League without going through a draft or anything. So it was like a replacement for someone who didn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, that does.
Yeah. So there's also that concern where because everyone just owns the same team, there's no point of a draft because they might just bring the exact same players from like at some point maybe everyone from the Mumbai Emirates might play in Mumbai, England or Mumbai Cape Town.
Yeah, I can see that working out
Yeah.
quite well.
Yeah. So I feel like CPL might be down bad, 100 is probably meh. I might put both there, but we could always come back to see. Well, oh, okay, ILT20, you come right there. I think you're the top of down bad. Yeah. The only thing they have going for them is the commentators, honestly, because they have everybody. But other than that, I it was so bad that even though the final was like so one sided, given what happened with that no ball that Azam Khan had, that it was at least an entertaining final, but still, the breaking point for me was delaying the final to build hype when it was literally just because everyone was in the West Indies Australia series.
Oh.
Yeah, but I think it also didn't work out well because some players weren't able to come back in time. So like, it was like such a last minute decision based on that it also ended up not working out entirely. So yeah, so that's why you go there. You might have to go up here just because, but
Yeah, there ain't no other option for IPL.
yeah.
Stays up.
Yeah, I think the one good thing they have going for it is that I don't think there's a requirement to play an emerging player. But they have yes, true. ILT20, the uncle's favorite league. Oh, so very true. Yeah, yeah. Does IPL even have a requirement to play emerging players? I don't think they do, but they at least have the award for it. But they also have so many people just being given a chance that that's probably the best thing they have going for them right now. 'Cause I think the example I gave somebody was that if someone like Jaiswal was a West Indian player, he would have probably started off in CPL batting at 8, and then after 5 games, he would have been dropped because they filled the emerging players quota.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
What's the emerging players quota?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's 5 games in the season.
Oh,
Yeah. There's 10 games. There's only 5 matches, but it's split up. It's in such a way that because you have 2 emerging players, not everyone has to play. Between the two of them, there just has to be 5 games. So one person can play all 5. Someone can play none, and it still satisfies that criteria.
ah,
Yeah. Yes, that's another reason CPL's down here. But yeah, honestly, India could probably India honestly has like at least 2 extra squads of just emerging players. 'Cause I think they sent it to Zimbabwe.
oh,
I think that's the main reason that people are asking for an IPL tier 2. And they have a valid reason in that because so many of the states you can't really judge the quality of the cricket being played. That
Oh.
it might make sense to have a second tier IPL. Because I think the example was if you have the Indian Premier League and you're seeing people in Uttar Pradesh Premier League or Karnataka Premier League making hundreds and they come to IPL and they're not performing, then they might say, oh, some of these leagues, the quality might not be as good. And I think some leagues accepted that. Well, like last year, I think some of like 17 or 18-year-olds got like, I think 8 or 9 crore because they were like, oh, they might be the next big thing. And then now some of them got, I think, like under 100 lakh. So it just goes to show that at that point in time, teams are okay spending the money on someone who they think could be a big talent. But now they realize that, oh, some of these might be skewed. Let's keep our hopes in check. But
yeah, that's fair.
I'll have to go up there. Now, Lanka Premier League, I feel like might also have to go in down bad.
Yeah,
But
I think so.
I'm tempted to go with Meh just because I had a lot of people used it to get back into the Sri Lanka side.
Oh,
Because that helped spark Sri Lanka coming back into the side and becoming captain. They had, I think,
yeah.
2 emerging players but 2 emerging players make it into the squad right away, even though they haven't played as much. But the fact that they're consistently in the squad, there's at least that.
Yeah, then that's fair. Because Sri Lanka is probably one of the best things that's happened to their ODI squad.
Yeah. He's doing really, really well. I'm impressed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Made for captaincy.
Like even with Sri Lanka, even in the Lanka League, that's why Hasaranga took over because his team won, and then his team came last, and then Sri Lanka's team won, so then he just took over his place.
And it's doing pretty consistent.
Yeah. I mean that India Sri Lanka tour was one of the worst things I've ever seen. But yeah, big up to Sri Lanka for actually winning that. Even though they probably shouldn't have whitewashed it because the umpires forgot that you could go to a super over now and that it's not an ICC event exclusive.
Wait, that was why it ended in a tie because they forgot there was supposed to be a super over?
Yeah, apparently they didn't check the rules. You can't have a super over now, and they just didn't go to one, so they just took it as a draw. So it could have it might have been a 2-1 win instead of a 2-0 win, but still, it's funny.
That's insane.
Yeah. On a side note, there's another issue with rules in the WPL, the Women's IPL, where there've been 3 instances, I think all in one match, where the umpires didn't take the wickets lighting up as the instance of the bails being broken, when it should have because it's in the rules. So there were 3 instances of someone being given not out when they were out. Yeah. I don't know if I'm getting that wrong, but I think from the wording of it, that's what it sounded like. Yeah, but there was this debate that in the instances someone should have been given out and ended up being given not out. So, yeah. it's a little complicated because they have the review for wise, they have it for no balls. So that was that stuff going on.
That's something that needs to be worked on.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Major League Cricket. That I'm tempted to go decent because they have a lot of teams who are really they might have really invested in some of the US players.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm tempted to put it in decent because I think even though you have to retain local players and then the foreign players, there's a lot of
Yeah.
local players who are doing pretty well. So I'm tempted
Oh,
to go because of that. They're also getting. I think they might expand to get more teams, but they still had quite a few Indians that were down bad. Most of it just because of Knight Riders, because it's just pretty much the exact same team with Narayan and Russell captaining. Well, Narayan captaining and Russell, and then some of the other people who just get picked up and then just from another team, from another Knight Riders team, and then they don't perform. So yeah, I'll just go with meh. Yeah, most of these might just go in meh, just because. Okay. Okay.
franchises are hard.
Yeah. So, decent, meh, or down bad?
Um, I don't know. I'd also put them in meh. I mean, they're not doing too good. They're not doing too bad. Initially, they started with a lot of retired players, but now they're slowly getting good players. So I don't know.
Okay. I feel like meh is fine. Nothing has really been decent or great so far.
Yeah.
Which I think is the point of this. So I think it's working well. But yeah, yeah. I do like that they also had a few players like come back into their squads. Like Ayub's continued to do well. Rizwan, Baba's done well in some matches. But
Yeah.
yeah. They also did have, I think, they had two major issues last year, from what I remember. One was where they had an issue with DRS that was so bad. DRS made a statement saying, and they apologized, saying that something actually went wrong with the programming.
No, I know what that was.
Yeah. I think it was so bad that even the TV umpire asked to re-review it because they were just unsure what happened. I think it was that where the impact was didn't match where the ball was, even though in the overlay you could tell it wasn't in line at all.
Oh, that.
Yeah, that one was weird. There was the one that was, I think, was just really really bad, where
Mhm.
the exact wordings from the TV umpire was, "I'll give the benefit of the doubt to the fielder, that he claimed the catch, and they were given out."
They can do that?
No, they can't because that's bias.
Yo, that's nuts.
Yeah. Yeah. If you want to read the footage, you could see his shot. You can't see his shadow. You can see the shadow of the fielder, which means that he's on the ground because
Whoa.
he had tossed the ball and then I think jumped back in. But from the sidelines, you could also tell that he was still on the ground. But the fact that because he didn't review the evidence and he just said he'll give the benefit of the doubt to the fielder, which brings into question if that person had like given a really big appeal, that they might have been inclined to just give it as out.
Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's yeah. So
Yeah.
that can stay in there. I'm gonna just reorder these a little bit.
There's a reason why I follow franchises very vaguely, or
Yeah.
like not even vaguely. Sometimes just don't.
Yeah. Okay. I feel like this might be the only one that's decent. I might actually put it in great, just because it's been, even though it had like two very very down bad teams, the top four were really competitive, and all four of them were because they had young South African players doing well. Yeah. I think even the top team of the tournament has like 5 or 6 people who haven't played for South Africa or have played like maybe I think 1 or 2 games. There's definitely a lot of potential there because it seems like teams really invested in their emerging players.
Oh,
It at least made it interesting to watch because
okay.
because there were so many names I never heard of before, and I'm like, wait a minute, this person's doing really well. They made a 50 in this game, they made a 90 in the next game. I got invested in watching some of these players, like Dewandre Pretorius, someone named Delano Portgator, Ryan Rickleton. There's other players who have been in and out or like been there for a while, but they've having that finding that breakthrough season to get and say, oh, this person might have it. Let's see if they can follow it up.
And Rickleton made it to the national squad, like the
Yeah.
national test squad, and he was insane.
Yeah. I mean, Brevis is kind of Brevis is kind of like a fraud, just because he had done so well in domestic and some franchises. Even in franchises, he hasn't done well. It's only I think this is the first time he's done really well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the joke is that Mumbai dropped the wrong South African player. They had Stubbs and Brevis at one point, and they dropped
Oh.
Stubbs and kept Brevis. And look at where Stubbs is now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. The last few. Okay. I feel like Vitality Blast and I feel like these could go in decent because they also have a lot of. Well, Vitality Blast are just constant cricket for English players, but they also have issues with people not being available. So that I'm tempted to say decent just because it's local players, and it's the same with Big Bash.
Yeah. I still think like Big Bash in terms of cricket quality is pretty good compared to a lot of franchises.
Yeah.
Like what's produced.
Big Bash holds a special place in my heart because the first Big Bash game I woke up to watch was 15 all out.
Oh wow.
Yes. I woke up one early. I woke up like I think 4 o'clock and I was doing work and I couldn't sleep and I was like, oh, I'll just watch a game. And then I watched and I think they made like 138. I'm like, oh, this might be easy to chase. I saw what happened. I went to brush my teeth. I came back and it just got much worse. I'm like, oh my god. Okay, surely it can't get worse, but then it did. It was incredible.
That sounds so memorable.
Yeah. They also had Mitchell Owen just beast the entire tournament.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that also gets some credit because like a maiden tournament win. Man did good. He's in league to get call ups now, so I'll give it that at least. And then all the T10 leagues, they could go right here. Actually, no, they also go in Bangladesh Premier League. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, just for the betting. Just because of that. I even order this. Are you finished how to order to it? Okay. What I'll do is I won't put Zim and Lanka at the top of it solely because they had an initiative that apparently they never announced or like made public that you could have West Indian players and Sri Lankan emerging players as part of the squad.
Oh.
Yeah. So you had like a bunch of random people getting picked. But the funny thing is they ended up actually playing games.
Oh.
You had Leonardo Julian, you had Joel Andrew, I think, in some games. Kirk McKenzie played, I think, 2 games.
Oh, I remember when this was going on.
It might have been a rule for that I had to play, but the fact that there was at least one every game. So that made me think of the rule, but still, you had them playing. So that is a good thing about it. But yeah, Abu Dhabi T10, that one, that could go just right before BPL. Yeah. The other weird thing about this is
What?
this season. Okay, I feel like we could probably call it right after this, but I think that one last point is similar to what Mash was talking about where's the line when it comes to playing for West Indies and playing for these franchise leagues is you could tell that honestly most of these are just for the money, simply because so much of these aren't regularly televised. Because off the top of my head, Abu Dhabi T10 was not shown on Flow in the Caribbean. I think I had to look at it on Willow or Sky Sports. None of these were aired. ILT20 was the one showed in the Caribbean on Flow. SA20 was not shown in the Caribbean, as far as I could tell. This isn't really shown anywhere. Big Bash, no. MLC, no. PSL and Lanka League were probably the only two that I remember being aired on TV. But so much of these are hardly being televised that one, it might help with betting that you can get away with more stuff because it's not being seen publicly. But it still just goes to show that you can't say you're representing your country when a lot of people from your country or globally are barely seeing it. So there's also that aspect of it too. But that's our next topic. That's a big topic that I feel like could also constitute its own show. Yeah. But yeah. I feel like this is pretty good in terms of
Yeah,
this. Yeah.
very accurate.
Yeah. So someone else speak for itself. But I don't think I missed anything. The only one I had forgotten initially was Big Bash and Vitality Blast because those were the two that I don't really see televised because one Vitality Blast I think is associated to Sky Sports and Big Bash I think, like four in the morning, so that I would normally miss. And I just joined the T10 leagues just so I could put them in Bangladesh Premier League tier. Yeah, big up Celine. The trend in general for people under 30 is to hustle. So a bag is a bag. I mean, at some point, you do gotta respect it. But at some point, I think. I'm trying to know what the case was. I'm pretty sure it was right after ILT20 and the Australia series where Puran went to play one game in Big Bash, Bangladesh Premier League, and then left because the team had got knocked out when he could have been playing for West Indies, I think. But it's still the point that you just came back from playing an entire franchise league. You left to play for your country. You didn't perform well at all. And you didn't bat well. You didn't keep well. And then you come back and start back doing really well for the franchise league. Then you jump to the next league. You don't perform well because you're probably burnt out. And then you just wait until IPL. It's just a cycle. Yeah, just a lot of pain. I mean, you do gotta respect it at some point, but it's still the point of saying, at what point is the bag not worth it when it might just be a single game? Like even for ILT20 and South Africa, you have people coming in just to play in the qualifiers, and because they lost, they're just coming for one game. So yeah. Okay. Thank you, Alisa, for your time.
Thanks for having me.
May I ask what time it is in Pakistan?
It's 4:18.
Okay, not what I expected. Thank you very much for sharing your time. I hope you don't fall asleep. I hope you don't fall asleep in class.
Oh god. Yeah, well, let's see what happens. I still have work to do, so I'm just gonna brush it out. Thanks.
Okay, have fun and enjoy your work. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, folks, big up to Lisa for that. Yeah. Until these tier thing, this was so much fun. I feel like this is something I probably do in the Discord as well and send a template. And next week I could probably look at what other people say. But yeah, I will save the one that I have with all the West Indian players who deserve call-ups probably for next day, just so I could say, well, it's kind of like a project where I could add more names depending on who does well. Because at some point when I was typing up everything, I told myself, it doesn't make sense to add this person because while yes they could have a chance while they're doing well, it's only been 3 games, so there's still a chance they could stink it up in the other 4, and then ruin their chances of getting picked. So I was like, well, I might as well just keep it for a while and go through it as I go along. I just add back names. The only thing I have right now is people who are currently in the team and have to stay. So I could update that I could update at the beginning of the next show and discuss it and then jump into something else. But yeah, I feel like saving it after the end of the whole tournament will probably be the best. So yeah, that's really it for me for today. I know it's been it's been a little long. I think the last show was also an hour and 17 minutes. But thank you all for coming out. This has been incredibly fun for me. Oh sorry. Yeah, I think I need to drink some water after this. But yeah, this is helping me with a lot of stuff. Just getting my thoughts out there, explaining things, and just learning a lot. So thank you all very much, and I shall see you all next week, hopefully. If there's anything else you would like me to discuss, you could always comment it or leave it in the Discord, and I could always put some stuff together. I think next time, one thing I want to do for the next show is go through the idea Osprey had about making regional franchise leagues with some teams from IPL, some from BPL, some from LPL, and just making a league out of that, kind of similar to the Global Super League, or like a mini Champions League, Champions Trophy for different regions. So I feel like that will be fun. Okay, thank you all, and goodbye. This has been the WereWolf Hour episode 2.